Guys, spring is just around the corner and is the perfect time to refresh your routine. Let me tell you a change I have made. I have ditched endless cups of coffee for something better, Mudwater. If you're looking to cut out those coffee jitters or that midday slump, Mudwater is perfect for you. It's not your average cup of joe. With a blend of cacao, chai, turmeric, and adaptogenic mushrooms, it will help you feel more focused without the crash. It's smooth, steady, and honestly, it just makes you feel better. And now Mudwater is available at Target and Sprouts locations throughout the US. So it has never been easier to grab a cup of this pick-me-up. There's also caffeine-free blends available. Functional mushrooms seem to be all the hype right now, so join the club. Head to mudwater.com and grab your starter kit today. Right now, our listeners get over 40% off your entire order, plus free shipping and a free rechargeable frother when you use the code Chael. After your purchase, they're going to ask you how you found them. Show your support. Tell them I sent you. Shawn Brady versus Leon. I would love to hear from you guys. What's next for Shawn? If you have predictions. Like if you feel strongly, because there was so much accomplished by Shawn in a career where so much has been missed by Shawn. Shawn has whipped every ass out there, not named Belal Muhammad, including in the world of grappling. He got the jump on Craig Jones. There's 3 guys in grappling. There is Mason Fowler, Gordon Ryan, and Craig Jones. And then there's a world of grapplers. He took down one of the kings. I mean, I'm just sharing for you. He's had misses, man. I have watched this guy through the microphone, through his media opportunity, through relaying to you guys, strike. I've watched him, and I sit there and I watch him. I go, man, you are so good. These stories need to be told. He could do an entire piece that would be compelling by taking off his t-shirt and showing you what the different tattoos are. As a matter of fact, he's got a tattoo of himself jumping guillotine on a lion. He has a tattoo of that. Oh, by the way, he finished the world champion in his own backyard, the guillotine. I'm just sharing, like, that's very interesting. How did he do it? And he started with a one-arm guillotine. And if you look at the position, you would really be blown away. He's on top, he sweeps to it, but he raises his hips and he buries his glove. That's how he connects this. He buries his glove. You as the viewer can't see it. And I will admit, there was a breakdown done on Instagram, and I left a comment on it. I should be crediting the person right now. But they talked about this, and they were explaining that he was blue. You know, the commission comes, and they wrap it around your glove. And the gentleman that's explaining explains you can no longer see that. The blue is hidden under the body, but it's what made this entire thing work. It was so basic. A guillotine is amongst the first moves you will ever learn, but it is the basics that win the championships. And to watch Shawn even be able to get to that position on Leon, forget about the surrender. Just to be able to get to that position, I could challenge you right now as an audience and tell me somebody else that got to that position on Leon. It's a very hard thing to do. And this is grappling at another level. It truly is. I don't think that you guys think of Shawn Brady as the new Jake Shields, right? Jake Shields was said, even by George St. Pierre, to be the best jiu-jitsu player in the UFC, and he was. And I don't think that you think of Shawn like that. I don't think that you think of Shawn like anything. I don't think that you know if he's an MMA guy, if he's a grappler, if he's a grappler that's doing MMA. I don't feel that you've got a real clear vision of him, but I think that you do now. I mean, he really changed a lot of things, not just by winning Leon, the way that he handled it afterwards. Don't forget. Conceptually, you must understand this. And it's just the business. It's just a career, and it's everybody. But You stumble into a gym. You decide you're going to do this. You start on the regional show. You try to make your way to the international show. And once you're there, your fingers are crossed and there's nothing you can do. Your fingers are crossed, and it's largely going to be because of your opponent. You don't belong there, so you got to get attached to the right guy to get yourself on television. Once you get on television, you need to stay there. You begin to work your way up a card. You get however far you can get. That's a main event, if that's a world title, but however far you can get, and then it goes in reverse, and you're out of the business. And as Mr. Aspinall would say, you become another bum in the shower. But that's the business. That's what you sign up for. Happen to somebody else, and that's how you got your spot, and keep that as long as you can. It's just the way that it goes. So where does Leon sit on that? Right? Leon was the highest level, not just the main event. He was the world title. So when the world title goes, in the world of demotion, now you're just main event. Damn good place where everybody else is trying to get. But the reality is, if that slips away, you start coming down. All of a sudden, you're off television. All of a sudden, you're out of the business. And I'm not sharing for you that that's where Leon's going. I'm sharing the trajectory of a career because Brady is in the exact opposite spot. And when you're dealing with a promotion, you got to remember what that word means, which is to go up. Promote is to go up. And that's why I'm asking you who you think he's going to fight. He just won in a main event. What do you do with him? How do you follow the rule of your own business, which is a promotion? How do you elevate a guy that's winning in main events? And the answer is one thing, a world title fight. And I don't know that I'm sold, excuse me, I don't know that I'm sold on the notion that Shawn Brady is now the number one contender. I mean, you have to keep Rakhmonov on the sidelines. You're going to have to get Jack D and Blahal to get this piece of business settled. I mean, there's a lot of moving parts there where the number one contender isn't necessarily fighting for the title, but you still understand my point. This is Shawn Brady, who's a stone-cold badass. But you don't know what bucket to put him in. Is he a grappler? Beat Craig Jones and he's trying MMA. Is he an MMA guy who used to grapple? Is he your new main event? Is he your new number one contender? It's a very interesting spot. I just thought the way that he handled everything, and the fighting was only one part of it. If you're trying to get your career over, you can go win a whole bunch of fights over 5 years. I always call that the Chuck Liddell path. Chuck Liddell became the biggest star, the highest paid, most recognized face, but he had a very long path. Whereas Tito, who was his own teammate, they had their own insights. They were both managed by a guy named Dana White before Dana White is the Dana White that you know. I'm just sharing, like, they were on very equal footing. Tito got to the main event 5 years faster. And he had some charisma and he had some charm. And Tito would use the fights as a mechanism to get the microphone. Not vice versa. Tito would go out and win those fights so that he was the one that got the microphone. And that's when he would go to work. And Tito was the first to do it. And we found out over time that Chuck had the skill, but that's not the way the story goes. And it's an important path to learn because it just looked to me like Brady had figured out some pieces. And there takes a courage. I mean, first you've got to figure it out. Then you've got to actually go and do it. Now when that moment comes, and you're high, by the way, you're not yourself. Like that adrenaline rush and that absolute relief, it creates a highness. Like they say the craziest things into the microphone. You know, licking blood off their gloves. It's one of these things. They're not themselves. So for Shawn Brady to compartmentalize, do the fight, find the position, handle the world champion, deal with the crowd, and then still cut his promo. I mean, I'm just saying, for all the times I've watched Shawn, God, doggone it. Oh, he missed again. Oh, Shawn, I would think this. For all those times, he sure made up for it.